Hi everyone, Thomas here and welcome back to another video. So today I'm back here for another speed build, and today we're going to go ahead and create this one, which is just simply called Suburbia. So if you want to go ahead and download this for yourself, it is up on the gallery now. My origin ID is real Thomas TV1. So I'm going to go ahead and put a card on screen now with some information about this build. So it came in at 225,811 simoleons. It has 4 bedrooms, 3 bathrooms, and I built it on the 40x40 lot in Brindleton Bay, and this took me 1 hour and 30 minutes to do. Now, considering I can do a 64x64 lot mansion build in roughly that amount of time, this kind of took a long time, and I can't even speak. I wasn't really too sure like what I was going to do for this build, because when I started building it, it started to kind of remind me of the grandparents' suburban home I did. It just ended up having that same sort of structure, I guess, and it kind of was putting me off continuing it, but it kind of just made me like focus on it a little bit more, I guess you could say, to actively make sure it doesn't like 100% look like the grandparents' suburban home. So, you know, I'm still really happy with this. It's still probably one of my favourites as well. I just really love how it turned out. And yeah, so I did say that I built this on the 40x40 lot in Brindleton Bay. Well, there's actually 2 of them, I think, because I just found one the other day. The one where the oh god, what they're called, the townies, the family townie from Cats and Dogs, like something Suprito or something. I can't think what it's called. Justin and somebody else. The Delgados, isn't it? I think it is. Anyway, so that family, like in the top right of Brindleton Bay, that's also a 40x40, I believe. So I thought it was only this one. So hopefully there was no confusion there by saying I built it, because it sounded like there's just one. Anyway, moving on, I'm rambling too much. So, this is like a family style home. When I do the bedrooms though, I don't tend to make them that kind of very specific to any type of gender or any particular interest of Sims. Just kind of keep them fairly neutral so you can do what you want with them. But I did make one like a single room in like for like a child or something, and then the other ones are double beds, I think. And this idea for like the name, like the titling, is a bit odd, I know it is. So this idea of the name Suburbia, I think it came from that Troye Sivan song, because I absolutely used to love it a long time ago. And I think I made like a little note, because I have this like huge list of like over 100 build ideas that I've just collated over time, and I kind of just put that word onto the ideas list. Because I do a lot of suburban homes, and it's kind of like I want to do those, but sometimes it's hard to think of names because I can't call every single one a traditional suburban family home or something. So that kind of just was another name for it, sort of, and I kind of just added to the list, and I finally used it today because I was in the mood to build a suburban home, but I've already named them like, you know, hundreds of them. Well, that's a bit of an exaggeration, but a lot of them are called suburban homes. Anyway, so we're kind of just doing the landscaping and stuff now. And you know, just getting the outside structure of the home done. I'm currently recording this on the 31st of August. Now, I don't know when this is going up because I'm kind of a little bit ahead in my schedule, and I do have a few things coming up soon. So by the time, well, at the minute, I've got I got early access to Nando's Tropical Getaway mod, so I'm going to be doing a build for that hopefully on the Saturday the 1st, which should be passed by you see this because it's tomorrow for me. And I've also got a collab coming up as well. I'm not going to mention who with, because I haven't said if they wanted to be, you know, if they want to keep it a secret or not, but a collab coming up as well. And then I've also got the sponsorship in the work as well. So I'm not going to kind of go into it too much because it's still in the very early stages. I don't know if it's going to follow through, but we're kind of like being taught into it's not EA or anything, it's a different company for a really different thing, but it's still relevant to The Sims though. So there'll be more information about that soon. Well, if it all goes to plan, then you'll be seeing that soon. And I'm really excited about it. Anyway, so back to the build here. Well, one thing I just wanted to mention is that the garden areas in my builds, the last couple of builds, I don't know why, but they're just like, I can't think what to do with them. Like the backyard areas, they're always just turned out to be really, really small, and it's kind of just like a very narrow little bit where I can put things on because it's just full of landscaping. And I kind of just never know what to do with my gardens. They always just turn out really bad. Like, I can't even speak. I can't even put it into words. They're just always like very like amateurish and bare. It's really hard to kind of describe, but I always have trouble when it comes to the backyard areas, with just the terrain paints, where I'm placed and everything. I don't know why, I just always do. So, I think, you know, hopefully it still turned out alright. But now onto the interior, and as you can see, we've already got the wall coverings in and flooring and, you know, some things like that. I do that pretty much for all of my speed builds just because it's a very boring process, and you can see it anyway once we're actually working on you know, that particular area. So you can see the wall coverings right now, so there's no point of me, you know, making the video an extra couple of minutes long so you can see me put the wall coverings down, if that makes sense. I mean, sometimes I do it if it's going to be a very, very short video, but most of the time, it's very rarely I do that. So this home as well, you'll see it in a minute, but I did a tiny little what kind of think of the word, a laundry room next to the stairs. It's literally like a 3x1 room. It's absolutely tiny, because I really wanted to get a laundry room in here, but there was no room for it. But there was this kind of like little slither of space at the side of the stairs, so I decided to make it into a tiny little room. I could only fit the stacked version of it in. You'll see it later if I did include it in the footage. I don't think I remember, but you can probably see where it is. So this is the dining room area here. As you can see, it's very spacious, this home as well, and you can see for the like the garage area, I did actually convert that into the kitchen. Now I know it's a little bit of an odd place because you've got the garage windows in the kitchen, but I do that a lot with my homes. Oh, there's that little door there. You see, like just the single tile door where I put that painting from City Living, like next to the stairs. That's where I put the laundry room. Anyway, back to what I was saying. So yeah, it's kind of a little bit of an odd place to put it, but it was kind of really the only place that it fit well, because I didn't want it to be really tiny when all the other spaces in the home are really spacious. So that's where I decided to put the kitchen. I suppose it doesn't matter because it's not like it's a functional garage, it's just a room with a particular type of windows that I used to make it look like a garage. But I know a lot of people do convert the garages to normal rooms, both in real life and The Sims, so I thought it's not really a big deal at the end of the day. So we're just working on this extra little seating area because there's a little bit of space at this point in the kind of, well, living room area that I didn't really know what to do with, so that's what I converted it into, just, an extra little bit of seating. And let me know as well if you're going to go ahead and download this, because I'm really interested to know about people who kind of actually use my homes, because I know we get like a few downloads and favourites on the gallery and stuff, but I never kind of see people actually like, send pictures of their Sims living in my homes and stuff. So not that I'm like, you have to use my homes. I would just be really interested to kind of, see your actual Sims using my houses. Because a fun fact, I don't actually use my houses ever. I've maybe used, like, out of all the speed builds I've done, I've maybe used 1 or 2 of them for my actual kind of household. I don't know what it is, but I don't know why, I just do not like playing in my own houses. It's really odd, but I know there's a ton of other builders who have that same mindset. It's really hard to explain why, but it would just do that. So actually a lot of the time I just play in the general EA homes because they're very, very simple. First of all, I don't really play the game that often myself, because I'm always building. I never really get time to play the actual game, but I actually have started a current household, which I have been a little bit obsessed with in the last couple of days, which I have mentioned as well in the past couple of builds that are going up around this time, so I'm not going to go into too much depth with them because I've talked about it quite a bit. So I maybe might do a kind of current household update about that. I'm not really too sure yet, but let me know if you want to see that. Anyway, so with this particular household, I was actually just playing in EA homes because they're just so simple. I don't like to really play in homes that use move objects, which I do, because there's a lot of the time where I download people's homes, but they really aren't functional because everything you can't access because of move objects. So I have been just using that just to make it very simple. And when I do download people's homes, I normally just kind of take off all of the paintings and stuff, which sounds really weird, but it's just so I can have the cutaway walls view without having to have the paintings like on the other, oh god, I can't explain it. You know what I mean, just to make things more simple to move the camera around. Also, you might have just seen that I did the little laundry room just before I moved upstairs here. And I did also include a bit of footage here for the bathroom, just one of them though, because I don't normally do that, but since this, I didn't really have that much footage like left, I thought it might be a good idea to go ahead and include it. Anyway, so I actually have, my household has just moved to Uptown in San Francisco. At the top of the business career, they make like $400 an hour each. There's 2 of them. So, they've managed to afford an apartment in Uptown, and I actually saw Simlessy do this Uptown Luxury, I think it was called, apartment build a little while ago, and honestly I just fell in love with it. It was absolutely amazing, and probably one of the favourite apartments I've ever seen. So I really wanted to use that for my household, but of course they didn't have the money for it yet. I think it's like 100,000 or something they needed, so I got them to save up for that, and that's what I've moved it into. Now she did move use move objects, which is fine, because, you know, it's kind of just a nice thing to do when you're building for a speed build video. So I did actually just go ahead and kind of take out a lot of the footage, which sounds really bad, but I mean just like the clutter and the paintings and stuff, just to make it more easy to kind of move around and, you know, navigate, I suppose. And there were a few things which weren't like, well, one plant was blocking a door, but, you know, apart from that, that's it. But it's a really nice apartment, and yeah, so this room right here, I just wanted to mention, you can see that I'm doing that thing with the kind of curtain there, where I did the blinds from My First Pet stuff, and also the curtains on top of that from Seasons. Now, I've seen a lot of people do that. It's not really a unique thing, but I've never tried it myself, and I really wanted to do it at some point. I mean, it's not really that exciting of a thing to do, but I just really want to include it in my build sometimes, so that's what we did there. And now we're working on the kids' room, as you can see. Now, I do keep them fairly neutral, as you can see. It's a green room, so, you know, it can be for a boy or girl. It's really up to you, to be honest. It doesn't really matter. I just tend to make my homes as accessible to everybody as possible, which often means making the rooms very, very neutral in terms of colour schemes and everything in my builds, which sounds like a bad thing, but at the same time, I am building these homes for you, because like I said earlier, I'd never use my homes. I'm just building them and uploading them to the gallery for you to download. So, you know, making them neutral just allow that more people to download them and make them more functional. So that's what I do most of the time. But we're pretty much at the end of the build here. I really hope you enjoyed. We're just working on the last bedroom here. In the comments section down below, let me know about what you thought of this speed build, and if you have any more suggestions for builds that you want to see next, then also please let me know in the comments section down below. Leave a like, share and subscribe if you haven't, and if you want to go ahead and download this build for yourself, it is up in the gallery now. My original ID is Real Thomas TV1, and I'll see you all next time. Bye!